Mudgee is the original home for Italian varieties in Australia. It's where winemakers have been proving what's possible with Barbera and Nebbiolo and Sangiovese for decades, and this wine is part of that legacy. We recently held a blind tasting of Australian Barbera, part of our deep dive series at younggunofwine.com. Our panel of winemakers and sommeliers picked their favourites, tasted completely blind. And this wine, the 2023 First Ridge Barbera, was selected as one of the top wines. And in the glass, it has this gorgeous Moorish and fragrant nose of black pepper and dark plums with wildflowers and an earthiness. Then on the palate, there's a generosity to the fruits with cherries and blackberries, and that's coupled with cloves and a gravelly minerality, and it's got this really interesting, delicate textural grip on the palate. The wine has a softness to it, but verve at the same time too. It would go so well with any of the Italian classics. Think, pizza or lasagna or ragu if you're feeling fancy. First Ridge was established by Helen and John Nicolas in the late 90s under the guidance of Dr. Richard Smart, a world-renowned viticultural pioneer. They had the vision to plant and produce the best examples of Italian varieties they could, which was rare at the time, almost 30 years ago. They were early adopters, ahead of the curve in an interest that's booming now, nearly 30 years later. Barbera is a grape that's built for warm climates. It's able to retain high natural acidity even as it achieves full ripeness, delivering vibrant cherry and plum characters with a refreshing lift and structure on the palate. And with its soft tannins, Barbera has an easy drinking charm that makes it approachable and food friendly. But despite Barbera being a high acid grape that thrives in warm regions, it's not as simple as planting it and letting things take care of themselves. For vignerons like First Ridge, the wine is made in the vineyard. As the grapes ripen, sugar levels rise and natural acidity decreases. And decisions like the exact time of picking the fruit off the vine are critical in achieving the desired result in the finished wine. The way the sugar and the resultant alcohol and the acid all play together. And getting that balance right at harvest is just the start. First Ridge then gives their Barbera 18 months of bottle maturation before release, time for the wine to fully harmonise and the acids and the tannins integrate while the wine develops a softer feel and everything just settles into itself. And behind the vines is Paul Baguley, who has consulted on viticulture at First Ridge since inception, and the winemaker here is James Manners, who's been with First Ridge for over a decade, and he came from Montrose, another Mudgee producer, where he cut his teeth on varieties like Barbera and Nebbiolo and Sangiovese, and Montrose was a proving ground for these grapes in Australia from the late 70s, thanks to the pioneering work of Carlo Carino. And probably because of the success some other regions have had in promoting Italian varieties, it's perhaps been lost that Mudgee was the pioneer for such varieties in Australia. The work has been happening here for 50 years. For our full deep dive into Australian Barbera, head to younggunofwine.com. Cheers.